Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I am JB. That is Rick Porcello, pitcher for the Red Sox. So get your devices fired up and get some FaceTime with your favorite pitcher. Rick, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Fans, you know how this works. Push the green button, get in line, be a part of the show, ask your questions directly to Rick, talk with him yourself, get me out of the way. In the meantime, I will use social media to keep the conversation going along. You can hashtag Chatting Cage on Twitter. I will find those and read those. Or you can just fire it up, put the comments section in the MLB Fans app, and I will read those. And that's how it's going to work. And we'll have a good time, and Rick will get off and get back to work. Here's how it goes. We'll lead it with Twitter. This is from Walt_Limo. What's the biggest adjustment you've had to make since moving to Boston?
I think the biggest adjustment I've had to make is really kind of learning how to pitch in this division. It's a lot different than pitching in the AL Central. There's a lot more lineups that are geared towards a home run, a lot of lineups that are geared to beat you with the big hit, and that's something that as there is some power in the AL Central, it's not it's kind of not the same lineup, not the same game. So I've had to learn how to be able to control innings and try and prevent giving up that big hit.
All right. Thank you for that, and thank you for the question there, Walt. This is how things go. That's Rick talking about pitching in the AL East. What did he do when he adjusted to Boston, responding to a fan's question on Twitter. We have a fan live with us right now. What's your name? What's your question for Rick?
My name is Peter. I'm from Franklin, Massachusetts. I'm a huge Red Sox fan, and my question for you was, what advice can you give to any high school ball player hoping to make it as far as into the big leagues as you?
Yeah. I think the biggest advice that I would say is, you allow yourself to develop a passion for the game. Everything about baseball I've loved. So really that kind of prepares you for any kind of challenges that you might encounter throughout your career and getting to the next level. And, if you love what you're doing, you're going to be willing to work as hard as you can possibly work to achieve your goals. And I think that's the biggest thing is you got to be passionate about what you do. And, that's not saying to burn yourself out and always be working at baseball and kind of get, like I said, burnt out on it. It's more, developing that love and allowing yourself to enjoy everything that you're doing, whether it's playing the game or doing drills on the side. Anything like that is what's going to make you better and get to the next level.
Great answer from Rick. For Pete, trying to figure out how to do it as a young pitcher in high school. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I'm JB. That's Rick Porcello. Get your device fired up and join us here in the cage. I'm going to get to it right away because it's a big question about a big man. The EDJ question of the day is this. Rick, what is it like being on the David Ortiz farewell tour?
It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's pretty incredible that at least I get to look at it every day, that I get to be, in the clubhouse with him in his final season and kind of, I think the crazy thing is just the level that he's playing at right now, and it's remarkable that this is his last season and he's doing what he's doing. I mean, it's it's been pretty special to watch up to this point, and just being able to be around him and watch him on a day-to-day basis and how he goes about his business and, the ultimate confidence that he has and that swagger that he carries around with him. It's pretty cool to be a part of and to see on a day-to-day, level.
Big Papi having a big season as he does the farewell tour. That's Rick Porcello talking about getting a really good view of that tour from there as the Red Sox have a season underway here in 2016. Another fan joins us. What's your name? Where are you from? What's your question for Rick?
Baltimore. I was wondering what workouts you do every day to get you ready to pitch.
Every day is a little bit different. Usually the day after my start is a long run day, and I do a lower body leg workout. And then my second day, I'll throw a bullpen and do an upper body workout with a bunch of arm exercises and injury prevention exercises included with that, scap stuff and shoulder strengthening things. And then day 3 is kind of more of a circuit conditioning day where we're doing a bunch of jump rope and shuffles and then some core work. And then day 4 is sprints, some stretching, some some light yoga stuff, and get ready to pitch day 5.
There's the full cycle. That's a great question, a great answer in there. And I want to follow up on this because Rick, you're talking about what it takes to be successful and that passion that it takes. You have to do workouts. That's a serious routine. I got to know, what's the one of those workouts that you just can't stand doing but know it's helping you out the most?
I mean, I hate running. I run basically every day, but I hate it. I hate long distance running. I don't mind sprints. Longer interval running is, not my favorite thing to do, but that's kind of goes back to, what I was saying before, where it's, you develop a passion and you love what you do and you hold yourself accountable and you get through those sort of things. But yeah, I'm not, when I'm done playing, I'm not going to do an ounce of running. I can promise you that.
We know the retirement has no 5Ks, no half marathons, no marathons for Rick Porcello. Long way down the road.
Yeah, it's not for me.
That's awesome. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I'm JB. That's Rick. Get your device fired up. Join us here in the show like this fan. What's your name? Where you from? Can you move your hand? There you go, bud. Oh, almost got it. I see you. What's your name? Where you from? What's your question for Rick?
My name is Ryan. I'm from Worcester, Mass. I am 9 years old. When did you start to throw your curveball, and how did you master it, or when?
I probably started throwing my curveball when I was around 15, 16, 17 years old, and kind of around my sophomore, junior year of high school. The mastering part, I still haven't done that. Some days it's pretty good, some days it's not. But yeah, I think there's a lot of emphasis on younger guys like yourself, throwing curveballs too early, and you don't need to. You have plenty of time to learn how to throw a curveball. I think the best thing that you could do for yourself is to focus on throwing a fastball and a changeup and being able to throw strikes with those. And then as you get older and your body develops a little bit more and you're a little bit more prepared to throw a curveball and you can handle it, the stress on your elbow, then it's a more appropriate time for you to start throwing it. But yeah, I'd say around my sophomore, junior year of high school, I started throwing a curveball.
Started then and still working on the mastery of it, folks. That's a great, honest answer from Rick Porcello.
Every day.
Good question there, young man. Thank you for that. Let's go to the MLB Fans app now while other people get their devices fired up. This is from New FZ, speaking to the pitches and curveballs. What's the one pitch, Rick, you would love to add to your arsenal?
Oh. I'd really love to have a wipeout slider. I think that would make my life a lot easier on the mound. I've got a little slider cutter now, that whatever you want to call it. But I see a lot of guys that are able to put away hitters with righties and lefties with a wipeout slider, and they make it look easy from the side. And it's something that I wish I could throw. And I've tried to throw it from since I got to the big leagues, and I just have a hard time doing it. It's not. Just doesn't work for me, but that's definitely a pitch I wish I'd have.
Looking for that wipeout slider as things go on. We continue with the MLB Fans app. This should be a pretty good one. Eli Simba, I think that's how that name goes. Might be broken down a different way, but that's what I'm going with. If you were stranded on a desert island, Rick, which teammate would you bring with you?
Oh, man. Well, I don't know. I'd probably bring Mookie Betts because right now it looks like that man can do just about anything. I don't know if I could take Petey. Petey would probably, he'd wear me out too much. He'd get on me, and my mental psyche would just be completely diminished with Dustin. I'd say Mookie probably. He looks like he's got it all figured out. So.
That's a great strategy. I like that a lot. Mookie can probably get you back off the island somehow. We'll figure it out. This is the Edward Jones Chatting Cage, folks. Use the MLB Fans app to join us here in the show, or hashtag Chatting Cage on Twitter, and I'll read the question, or use your device to join the show like this fan. What's your name? Where you're from? What's your question?
Hey, I'm Connor from Massachusetts, and my question for you is, what player or teammate have you learned the most from in your career?
I think that there's a couple of guys that I've learned a lot from, and I don't know if I can particularly put it on one individual, but I'd say talking to veteran hitters, guys like David Ortiz, when I was in Detroit, guys like Victor Martinez, Miguel Cabrera, Dustin Pedroia, those guys, they give you the insight on what a hitter's seeing and feeling in the box, and it's something that you don't necessarily see or know on the mound. You're always thinking about throwing the ball, and you don't really know what's going through that guy's head. And talking to those guys and understanding what, pitch sequences and how you're attacking hitters, how it can kind of mess them up or kind of put them on their heels a little bit, has definitely helped me a lot over the course of my career, and it's helped me to be a lot more efficient with my pitches and try not to repeat mistakes and understand what good quality veteran hitters in the major leagues are looking for and what they're trying to do at the plate.
Insights there from Rick for a great question from Connor. We go back to the MLB Fans app, and there's a bunch of different variations of it, so I'm going to sort of summarize it and give it here to MWEG517. For you, Rick, what's it been like being a part of that Yankee-Red Sox rivalry?
It's been a lot of fun. I grew up in New Jersey. I was a Mets fan, but obviously, I saw the Yankee-Red Sox rivalry when it was, really at its peak in the early 2000s and stuff. And it's pretty cool to be able to go, compete against the Yankees the amount of times that we do a year, and to feel that energy within that series. That's what it's all about. It's all about the excitement and playing in front of an atmosphere like that you get at Fenway or you get at Yankee Stadium when both those two teams match up. So it's been cool.
And cool to see as well, watching that rivalry unfold over this season. Talking to Rick Porcello about the big rivalry between the Red Sox and the Yankees, what it's like being a part of this. This is the Edward Jones chatting cage. We're about to wrap things up. Hopefully we can get another fan in here, though, to get a question in, or we'll go back to social media. Oh, we did get a fan, which is outstanding. What's your name? Where are you from? What's your question?
Hi, my name's Owen. I'm from Burlington, Ontario. I'm 12 years old, and my question is, what was it like pitching on the Red Sox for the first time?
It was exciting. I was definitely nervous. Coming to Boston and playing in front of the atmosphere in Fenway Park and having that be your home ballpark was a lot different than being in Detroit, and something that took a little getting used to. But I think once you get the opportunity to play here and you get the opportunity to play in front of the fans here in Boston, you really don't want to play anywhere else. It's the atmosphere day in, day out, night in, night out here at Fenway is it's second to none. So, really fortunate, and my first time coming over here, I saw that pretty quickly, and was definitely happy that I was going to be here for the next 5 years.
There you have it. A lot of great young fans having good questions for Rick Porcello. Rick, did you have a good time talking to the fans today?
Had a great time. Thanks, everybody, for the questions.
Awesome. That's Rick Porcello. I'm JB. We'll see you, fans, on the next round of the Edward Jones Chatting Cage.